Hey guys, what's up? Ryan here. Got me a little blueberry and broccoli protein shake. Just got back from the gym. Mm, it's cold. Anyway, yeah, so I know I've been saying I was going to put this out for a while. Basically, this vlog is going to be instructing you and giving a little bit of my input and advice on how to start a PUA lair, a pickup artist lair. And so some people think that that's kind of cringy. The idea of a bunch of grown men meeting up together and trading tips and tricks on how to get girls. So, but that's what we do. So, a couple years ago, several years ago now, it's hard to believe how much time has passed by. Back in around 2008, I created the Las Vegas Pickup Artist Lair, the Las Vegas Lair. And anyway, there's PUA lairs all over the country, all over the world, and anyone can start one. But a lot of people they don't know that they can, or a lot of people have said, well, I'm not a good enough pickup artist to start my own group, or you haven't maybe written your own book or something like that, and that's really irrelevant. And I kind of want to talk about what is the point of the group beyond the benefits of meeting other like-minded guys in the seduction community who are practicing PUAs, or meeting other guys to go out with and practice your sarging skills and go to the clubs and meet girls. Um, what's actually happening is there's a much larger picture, and I want to kind of talk about what that is. And well, first let me talk about how I started my group. And our our group, the Las Vegas Lair, we actually have a new movie out. You can watch it for free on YouTube, Las Vegas Lair, the mini movie, and it's got some great tips and tricks on how to pick up girls, but it's more about you know community life and those type of things. So when I first started, I actually hadn't been in the community technically so long. It was about 2008, and I was living in this luxury condo at the time, and I'd been going out gaming, getting pretty good, getting good results with women, but I didn't know any other PUAs in Las Vegas. And so I started putting out these ads on Craigslist saying, hey, my name's Ryan, and I read this book, The Game, and this book, The Mystery Method, and I learned all these techniques, and I've been going out, meeting girls and getting laid now using these techniques. And I guess the whole thing is kind of interesting because coming from my background of being a pro skater and a rapper, um, it's like I always had to do something to get a girl's attention and to get laid or to get a date. As a rapper, I would go out at night and I would go do karaoke, or I'd go do an open mic. And before I actually would go up on stage and do my song, I might try to walk around and talk to some girls. I walk up like, hey, what's up, girl? What you drinking? Hey, what's going on? And I never really got a good response. And after I would go up and do my song, I'd go up and I'd sing like Bust a Move or 50 Cents in the Club or Ice Ice Baby, or I'd do some karaoke song and jump around on stage and get all the crowd singing. After I would do that, I would get off stage and girls would be just all over me like, "Oh, I love your song." "Oh, we're going to be like," one girl, she came up to me in this bar at the Hurricanes, and she was like, right after I did my song, she was like, "Oh, well, we're just getting some pizza if you want a slice of pizza." And I was like, "Okay." So she gave me a slice of pizza, and then she's like, "Do you want something to drink?" I'm like, "I don't know. Let me get a Hennessy and Coke." She buys me a drink, and then like 10 minutes later, she's like, "Well, I'm about to head back to my house. You can come with me if you want." And pretty much, she's saying like, "I want to fuck." So I was like, "Oh yeah, that's what's up." And so I went back over to their house, and I fucking hit it. And so like that's how I would get girls. Excuse me. Or or back on on tour when I was a pro skater, pro soaper, I would be oh, excuse me, that fucking broccoli. Um, I would be like going around a tour, and I'd have to, I'd be jumping on these rails, and I'd be that guy on tour, like I was like a superstar and shit, signing autographs. So it's like, you know, like Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber doesn't have to do pickup techniques. He just goes to a show, does his song, and girls come up to him. So I was kind of in that like that kind of tier, like, or I'd go on the streets with my skates, and a girl would walk by, and I'd grind the rail, and then I'd kind of smile at her, and she'd be like, "Oh yeah, what's up?" And then I might go over and be like, "Hey, let's we should hang out sometime." She'd be like, "Yeah," but I always had to do something to get girls, and that always pissed me off because I kind of felt like, "Hey, I'm dope. Like I have a lot to offer. Like why aren't these bitches just coming up to me? Why aren't these bitches just knocking on my motherfucking door?" And the pickup techniques, they basically eliminated having to do something, and that's why I fell in love with the whole community and this whole PUA stuff, is because all of a sudden, like, using the conversational techniques eliminated me having to go out and soap to get girls or go or go or go rap on stage. I didn't have to get all dressed up and go to an open mic night, or wait until like 8 p.m. and then sit in line and put my name on the singing list, and then have to go do my song. I didn't have to do nothing anymore. I was just able to use the techniques, go out, and girls would be like chasing me. And so that's why I liked it so much. But anyway, I started putting out these ads on Craigslist, and I was like, "Hey, my name's Ryan. I learned all these crazy techniques to get girls, and I want to find other guys who are either like into this stuff, or or if anyone's into learning more about this, I'll show you a couple of techniques." And so that ad didn't get any response. And I was kind of thinking, I was like, "Oh, maybe I'm the only one in Las Vegas who does this stuff or knows about this book the game or whatever." And I had told a friend of mine, yeah, basically my friend Justin, and I was like, "Yeah, I try to put these ads out. I want to find some other guys who are into this." And he's like, and then I kind of said, "Well, maybe I should make like a group on was called Meetup.com at the time." And he was like, "Oh, no one's gonna respond to that." And I was like, "Oh, fuck it, I'm just gonna try it anyway and just kind of put myself out there and see who's into this stuff." And I swear I heard this voice, as cheesy as it fucking sounds. I was laying in my bed, and I heard that voice that was like, "If you build it, they will come." And so I was like, "Oh shit, all right, let's do this." And so I got on this site called Meetup.com. I'll show it to you. Actually, I don't have the site on here anymore, but it got taken down because they said I was violating their terms of their fucking community terms or whatever. And so I'll never use this site again. But basically, here it is. Here's the site. I'm on the selfie stick right now. So, and it's basically it's this site. It's called Meetup.com, and I mean the site is. I think it's still valuable. Like if you're new to a new city, you can go on here and you could. There's all these people. Anybody can make a group on here about anything. Like maybe you are into like knitting doilies for couches, or maybe you're like really into cats or something like that. So you just go on and you make a group, like the maybe it's called the Las Vegas Cat Club, and then you find other people who are into cats, and you guys you basically, so like there's book clubs, dance out here in Las Vegas. There's a lot of these are like rock climbing groups, like hike a mountain. Okay, let's click hike a mountain. Okay, outdoor groups, show me, sign me up, and here we go, Vegas hikers. Let's just real quick. Mine was called, on here. At first, it was called the Renaissance Program, which I'll get into in a second. But look, okay, so some guy whoever made this group, whatever, there's their picture, and welcome to Las Vegas Hikers. And if you want to hike, then join us. And so, upcoming meetup Friday, looks like June 6th. Then we're gonna go hike whatever in the mountains at Mount Charleston or whatever. So anyway, there's these little groups that you make. And so when I first discovered Meetup.com, because I had found it because I had joined a flag football group, and they go out and play flag football and stuff. So I decided to make this. I didn't know to call it PUA Lair or whatever at the time, because I wanted it to be more about not just getting girls, but like improving your whole life. And so I called it the Renaissance Program, and it was about men, like a men's group, who wanted to become better men, who wanted to be start making more money, to start getting into health and fitness, and also going out to the clubs and meeting girls. And I never intended to become a guru or a pickup instructor. I just wanted to meet some fucking friends who were into the same weird shit, and go out and try to meet some girls and use this technique. I just wanted some wingmen. And so, anyway, I made this group, the Renaissance Program, and it had a pretty good response. And then it got started big enough, then I changed the name to the Las Vegas Lair. Here's like an old picture of some of the guys here. Like my wingman Maz, my homie Nick, and so this is just in my living room. And basically, like what I would do is I would just set up these meetups, and I'd hang like on this picture right here. I just hung up like a backdrop, and then I'm just like on the whiteboard, and a bunch of dudes in my living room. It's like 15 motherfuckers in here. And then it got bigger, and it ended up having like 215 members at one point. And we would have to start renting out fucking these little rooms, like seminar rooms, and you pay $25 or $35 an hour. And they're all over every city. You just like look up online seminar rooms and things like that. And so it got weird because people would come to these things and they would want to learn something, and they were like looking at me like the guru. And they would even ask me, they're like, oh, so you're going to be our pickup guru. So I got pushed into that role, and I didn't really know what to do at first. And so what I did is I got on Microsoft PowerPoint, as weird as this is, and I just started making my own little PowerPoint presentations. And so I didn't even know what this program was at first. And basically I got into hold on, I'll show you my PUA PowerPoint presentations. And here's some of my old ones from back in the day. These are, 10 years old now. But I started kind of coming up with these like I made one on body language. I made one on human communication right here, health and wellness. I did one on STD protection, massage and reflexology. I did stuff on the mystery method, and like for example, this goofy little drawing talking about personal space and how like you don't want to get in like a person's intimate zone without first establishing enough comfort. And there's like a comfortable zone, and there's like the far zone. And there's one I did on wingmanship, which is actually kind of amusing. This is before I came out with that the Wingman book. And let's see, this is man, this is funny because it's so back in the day, and it's so ghetto. I'm introducing, talking about like sets of people, and I'm discussing the characters, targets, obstacles. And so yeah, I just went in and I made all these PowerPoints, and I would get in front of the group, and became the guru. And I started just kind of teaching people everything I know. There's one on social circle mastery. It's interesting too because later each one of these became an actual book, and now I'm making money off these presentations, but selling them like in paperback and stuff. So that's pretty cool. Let's see real quick. Hold on 2 seconds. Where are we? Back to Las Vegas Lair. Gotta find it. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, I started doing these these meetups at the house, and then we started kind of branching out. But I didn't just do meetings on like seminar stuff. I was also doing outings, and so like for example, here's a good folder right here, night game. So not only like every week I would do like a seminar on a different topic, but I'd also do these group outings where I say, okay, on Friday night we're going to be going to such and such club like Caesar's Palace or whatever, and I would do um, boot camps and stuff. Like here's a good one, like with some of the guys, and kind of just showing them the techniques of how to get girls and and that kind of thing. And here's one like a pajama party we had at this mansion. Oh, here's one that we did was like a pickup artist movie night. I don't have a lot of pictures from here, but one of the guys in the group had this 120-inch projection screen, and so I had all these pickup videos like Hitch, the movie Hitch with Will Smith, Ghosts of Girlfriend's Past, Let the Game Begin, The Boys and Girls Guide to Getting Down. And like this dude Rob, one of my wingmen. Um, we'd all chip in and get pizza, and then we'd just sit around and we'd watch these videos. And a lot of times there, we would sit around and watch romantic comedies, which was pretty fucking funny because you have all these grown men sitting around like watching Titanic or watching The Notebook, and we'd all be analyzing like, okay, how come this main character is so like good with girls and stuff, and we kind of look at their masculine traits and basically what they were exuding, looking at their personality archetypes and stuff, and breaking it all down. So, but as funny as it was, like we'd get together and that's what we would do as guys, sit around it. And then it got into like the health and fitness thing where we started all going to the gym together, and we just start like working out. And there'd be like a meetup where we were out running the track. There was like 20 of us or whatever. I was like leading a stretching routine, so we're all stretching and we were running the track. So we're all like, now all of a sudden like with this big group of guys. Now there wasn't all 215 like at every meeting. It was like 15 would show up to one, 25 at another. Or like if I did it in my living room, I could only fit so many people. So I'd say there's this many tickets and it's going to be $5 a person or whatever. And I just started with $5. This is way before I was doing professional boot camps where then I'm charging $2,000 and $3,000 a person, and that came later after I kind of built up that reputation and stuff. So that's kind of interesting because you start one of these PUA lairs, you can end up becoming famous and making a substantial amount of money pretty quick. And what's also interesting is, like later, for example, I started coming up with my own routines, like the target market assessment program. And so, like, one of my biggest shows was we rented out. We didn't rent out the mansion. One of the guys, the leader of the New York wingman group, the New York pickup artist group, came here, and they ended up. It was him and like 10 other dudes, and they all went in and they bought this fucking huge ass 9-bedroom mansion or something over by the Wynn. And so I used their living room to do these presentations, and at that point we were charging like what the hell was it? It was like $400 or something like that, times like 35 people, and it was like at the end of the night I walked out with like $17,000 cash after doing this presentation. And so like I talk about it in my book Unlimited Wealth, where you come up with a, I guess, information product like that that's a one of a kind thing, and you're charging a lot because it's a live presentation. You can charge $100 a person, $997 a person, $497 a person or whatever, and then deliver your product or whatever, your speech. So you can make a substantial amount of money doing this, and also like you'll make a lot of friends and stuff like that. But anyway, so or going back into this, we go like do night game and stuff like Blue Martini, going out meeting fucking girls. I have so many, like thousands of fucking pictures and shit. It's fucking crazy. House parties. We would do these recon events where I'd get like the top guys who were also organizers in the group, and we'd sit there and go through Las Vegas weekly and go, okay, what events are going on? Oh, what concerts are going on? Oh, look, Paramore is playing. There's gonna be a lot of hotter girls at that. So like, let's do a Paramore outing event. So the guys would meet up at the house, it'd be like 20 of us or whatever. I would do a presentation, like we'd work on body language for a little bit, and then we'd all go over to the Paramore concert, and then we'd all start fucking talking to girls and opening sets and working as wings, or we'd put in our money together, because once I had this solid group, then it was like, okay, hey, rehab at the Hard Rock is this Sunday, and we want to rent a cabana, so we have a place to like bring girls to. And so we'd all put in like $200 a piece, and all of a sudden we have $3,000 cash. We're able to get a cabana. We've got food coming for the day. We've got booth, bottle service or whatever. And then all of a sudden we're all at rehab going around talking to fucking girls, trying to like make out with them in a little photo booth, and then pull them back to our cabana, excuse me, at rehab. And then have a hotel room right there. So if it got really physical, you could just go up to the hotel room with the girl and fuck her, and then drop her back off with her friends, and then go out for seconds. And so that shit was dope. And like we get like a room at just different hotels. Like, okay, we're all gonna be at the Bellagio this night. We'll do a seminar, then we'll do that. And so there's a lot of different ways you can do this stuff. One of the cool events was it was called Sarjopoly. And let's see if I can find this. Basically, like Monopoly. Where the hell did it go? I think it's in this Blue Martini folder, actually. Let me see here. Basically, I dressed up like the fucking Monopoly man. And oh, here it is. I think there's a better picture here. This is a big group of us. This dude is like an NLP practitioner. I end up fucking this girl here, my wingman Maz. So anyway, I'm can't really see, can you? I'm dressed up like the Monopoly dude with the top hat and the cane, and I've got the Park Place and Boardwalk cards in my pocket here, and just basically creating this big fucking spectrum. This dude's out macking on this girl right here, and there's a bunch of fucking better pictures somewhere. Oh, that was the thing about this. Here it is. Yeah, this is a better picture. You can see with the cards and stuff, like the Monopoly cards. But what's funny about this is, in my hat, I had these challenges. So we'd be out with the guys, and I had written a bunch of challenges, like get a girl's phone number in under 3 minutes, and the opening pickup line or whatever has to be like, do you know why you suck? And so then the guys would put $5 in the hat, and it was kind of like a charity thing, because I took everybody's $5 or whatever at the end. Like there was a little bit of cash in there, and then I could go ahead and like reinvest that cash into the next meeting by getting pizzas or ordering Chinese food or whatever. So then the guys would draw into the hat, and it would say like, go get a girl's number in 3 seconds, telling her you know why you suck. So then he'd have to go up to a random girl and be like, do you know why you suck? And then she'd be like, why? And be like, because like, for example, there was one girl, she was wearing like a cowboy hat, and he's like, do you know why you suck? And she's like, no, what? Why? And he'd be like, because your hat's not big enough. You can't even, do the Mexican hat dance around it. And she's like, oh, you're so funny, yeah. And so then he'd try to get her number. And if he gets the number, then he gets the $5 back. So it was a hella fun game. And a good way to make a little cash on the side. And let's see. So like you can come up with like a lot of crazy ideas to do this stuff and like make it really fun for the guys. But anyway, in order to do it now, like definitely I wouldn't suggest Meetup.com, because at the time, like it was cool, but now it's like if you try to make a pickup artist group, they'll say it's in violation of their fucking community guidelines of not to make a pickup artist group, and they want it to be groups like mountain climbing or flag football, that kind of thing, or sewing doilies for couches. However, on Facebook now, you can make pages and groups. So like, for example, this is our new one right here, Las Vegas Lair on Facebook. I just recently made this with Christian, my wingman, and so you can make like a Facebook page and post some pictures on here, and basically you try to like meet up with other people. This is brand new, and you guys are welcome to go on here and join it. However, if you maybe if wherever you are in on planet Earth, if you just type in PUA, you know, you're going to find all these other groups. There's one like Seduction Community with 1,100 members. PUA in some kind of Russian language. I don't know what this is. 946 members. Satori, this dude's in New York. Dominican dude. He's pretty active. I don't know if that's a group. That's just his blog, I think. But if you type in PUA or PUA, let's try PUA Lair on Facebook. It's anybody can go on here and make one of these groups in order to connect with people, and then just come through and make oh, look at that, I'm coming up right here, bam. Let's see, Las Vegas PUA Lair Pickup Artist Seduction Community. So I think if you just go on Facebook, you'll be able to find stuff, or maybe let's check out Google real quick. But yeah, anybody can make some of this. You don't have to be like a great pickup artist when you're running a lair. Just make the lair and set up the events and get people to come meet up. Or maybe you don't want to make it interactive in real life, so you could just do like a Facebook page where you guys, trade tips and tricks. And let's see, PUA Lair on here, Las Vegas Lair, Pickup Artist Lairs, Dallas. Oh, that's what I want to talk about. There's a bigger picture with all the lairs. One of the responsibilities you'll have as a lair chief or the lair leader is that pickup gurus such as like myself or Mystery or Tyler Durden or Seductive Instinct or any of the top guy, Bad Boy, whatever, any of the guys who are on tour, basically they're going to be trying to pitch their product. For example, my new book, 10 Steps to Success, or my Wingman book. If I go on tour, I'm going to be trying to sell my book. And so, like, let's say I go to Los Angeles, I'm going to talk to, like, the leader of the Los Angeles Lair, which I think is Jack the Ripper, or Vince Kelvin has the Hollywood Lair. There's a lot of lairs in Los Angeles because it's such a big area. But basically, I would have to call up, let's say, Jack the Ripper, or I have to call up Vince Kelvin, or I have to call up whoever else is running the lairs in there and say, hey, this is Ryan. I'm coming through. I want to do a lair talk. That's the key word is, like lair talk. So that means that person will set up a meeting and say, hey, Ryan is coming from Las Vegas. He's a pickup artist. He's going to talk about body language or whatever. I'll tell him I'm going to talk about, lifestyle, creating an attractive lifestyle. Or I'm going to do some kind of topic or whatever. And, you come over and you talk to the guys, and then you try to pitch their product. And then if you, or maybe sell a boot camp. And then, of course, there's typically a 10 or 20% finder's fee kind of thing. Like, for example, like Bad Boy, part of his tour, his North America tour, he did a talk for my lair, the Las Vegas Lair. And so he was, and after the lair, he was saying, I'm offering a free copy of my DVD, and I'm going to be doing a private coaching. It's $500 a person, and then so like a couple people would pay $500, and he'd take them out for 4 hours or whatever, and then I get my 20% as the lair chief because I set up the meeting. So like that's 20% is $100 per $500. So, like, for example, a student of mine paid him $500, and then he comes back later and gives me $100 per student that paid the $500, or however you work it out. It could be like, you get someone like Cosmo from Venusian Arts, he's a smart ass if you ever have to deal with him, and he'll come through and he'll offer some value and do a talk, but he has the attitude that, oh, I'm from Venusian Arts, I'm not going to pay you 10%. I say, oh, fuck you, then you're not going to talk at my lair. So, you're going to get people like that are going to come in with an attitude, and then you'll get cool people like Jason Marshall or Adam Lyons or Seductive Instinct that are just going to come and they're going to offer value, and they're not going to try to rip you off. For example, I had issues with Vince Kelvin. Vince Kelvin still owes me money from he sold some students some boot camps after a lair talk that I set up, and he still owes me money. And so, like we have a little beef going on. If any people in the community, they know about that. So, it's just some issues you're going to run into. But basically the job of a lair chief, beyond like creating entertainment and keeping the group together is going to be setting up meetings for touring gurus. And let's see. Oh, real quick. One thing I always did when I ran these meetings is I would make them potluck. And so what that would mean is like potluck is like a slang term meaning that if you come to the meeting, you know, it was $5 to get in, but usually you would bring a dish of food. Like and now at first I would just say, you know, just bring some food. And these guys would always either come with either a bag of Doritos, nacho cheese, or Cool Ranch, or they'd come with like a 2-liter of fucking Coke. And after a while, like all we had like was fucking chips and soda. So I learned this technique of basically they're very they're result and action oriented. You have to give them a mission. So if you run one of these groups, basically what you have to do, if you run it as a potluck, which is, I would suggest do it, because you can get a whole table full of like great food, and when you do the breaks in between your lectures or whatever, it give the guys a chance to like eat and drink and talk, and it's more social, it's more fun. But you got to tell each person what to bring. Like you got to be like, yeah, we're gonna make it potluck. Can you bring Oreo cookies? Hey, we're gonna make it potluck. Can you bring 2 liters of Sprite? And then the next person, can you bring 2 liters of Diet Coke? Can you bring 2 liters of root beer? Like you got to give them, or can you bring a bag of like lettuce, iceberg lettuce or something like that for salad? And just give each person like a specific item. And then like as a guy, they'll go out and do it. Now there are girls that will come to these meetings like, occasionally. They're either very tomboyish, or sometimes you just get these girls that are very intrigued by this whole pickup artist community, and some of them will come because they like you, and others will come because they're like, wait, I want to see, what do these guys really talk about? How do they pick up girls? And they'll come. But if girls show up or whatever, they're interested in your meeting, you tell them, hey, it's a potluck, so bring like a surprise dessert or something like that. And then girls will get really into this. Girls they'll start making giant like 3-layer Jello molds, or they'll bring those like snack trays. Like girls are really good at potluck. Guys, they suck, and you got to tell them what to bring. So, but as a Lair Chief, what's cool is because it's customary, if someone brings a dish of food, they don't take the dish back. They may take the actual Tupperware, but they'll always leave the food. So as a Lair Chief, I would always have a fridge stocked full of free food essentially after every meeting. So, and I was doing these 2 or 3 times a week, and so I always had a lot of extra food in the house, which was pretty dope. And one of the biggest things is in the community, they talk about being a leader of men. And so that's an attraction spike for women. Women are naturally attracted to men who are the leader. And by standing up in front of a group of guys, and because you're the person who is hosting the meeting, whether you're the most alpha or the most dominant person in the group is irrelevant, because you're still the focal point in the center of attention who's standing in front of a group of guys. And if you have any girls, and this is one of the things that I did that helped me fuck so many new girls, is the girls that I would meet during the week when I'd go out, I would tell them what I would do. I'm like, I'm a pickup artist coach. I teach guys how to pick up women. And they would be like, no way. And I was like, I'm actually doing a class on Wednesday. You should come through. And instead of asking her out to dinner or coffee, taking the girl to a Lair meeting was our first date, essentially. And so I would meet a girl like at the club on Wednesday, and then say like Saturday night I'd have a meeting. Then she would come, sit down in the meeting, listen to me talk. She'd hear some of my ideas, but most importantly, she would see me as the leader in front of all these guys. Now, it didn't matter, let's say if I was the biggest or the strongest or the tallest or the best looking or the most alpha or whatever, it was my meeting. Therefore, I'm the man and I'm the fucking leader. I'm the one standing on the PowerPoint going, do this, blah, blah, blah. Oh, hey, talking to another girl over here who also would come and say, hey, can I use you for a demonstration? Come up here. Then she'd see me with another girl. So that being a lair chief was a big part of my pickup, just for this, for that status, for being the leader, and living this life that where she could see like, oh, this guy's actually doing something. Not only is he doing something, not only as a leader, he's also helping other people become better men. So it was just a big winning combination. And that was kind of funny because, at first when you kind of hear about this, it's this group of guys and we meet up and we watch, romance movies and we talk about how to get girls. Like, you feel like it sounds really creepy, but when you actually come to one of these meetings, you find out like these guys aren't weird, they're not players, they're mostly hopelessly romantic nerds or geeks or dorks or guys that were raised by single mothers, or guys that are just naturally maybe more feminine, or guys that are not socially calibrated. They're just normal people and they're trying to better themselves. And so, when you create a group like that, you kind of get this synergy of just all these guys who are there because they want to get better they want to become better themselves and they want to get better with women. And you'll be able to brainstorm and mastermind with these individuals. And I don't know, I made a lot of lifelong friends by doing that stuff. And it was a very rewarding experience. And I essentially got away from. I still have, like I said, I just redid this Facebook lair on, but I don't really do all these crazy meetings and stuff like I was back then, because now I'm at this guru level where now I'm not necessarily hosting the meetings. I'm now one of those people that would be touring around selling my product, doing boot camps. I don't have time to go out and do freebies like I used to. Now it's, time is money. So I guess you move up in the ranks as time goes by. But anyway, what I want to say is anybody can start one of these groups. You could, if you want to take on the responsibility of that, you don't have to be a great pickup artist. You will become a great pickup artist just by starting one of these groups, because you're going to start meeting other people that are into this stuff, and you'll be able to trade ideas. That it is. A lot of the pickup artist material, like the books, the DVD programs, are very fucking expensive. Like, I spent $3,000 of my own money on David D's DVDs. I spent $600 on Tyler Durden's The Blueprint DVD set, which is it's like 20 hours long of this dude talking, but it's great fucking material and really stepped up my game. However, when you're in a group, you're going to find like different guys have different products. And one of the coolest things is, like, for example, one of the guys, he had a shit ton of fucking products on his hard drive. And so he was like, oh, like, have you ever seen this? Have you ever seen, what do you have? Vendicarlo's Pandora's Box series, which is pretty good. And the Vendicarlo product, he does it through like ClickBank on his site. And you have to pay like $30 per video, and then you can only open one video per week or whatever. And anyway, I don't know if this guy knew Vendicarlo or he was part of like the lair that was associated with that, with whole like Vendicarlo's escalation ladder theory, whatever. But anyway, he had all the Pandora's Box series already. And so when he came to join my lair, he was like, oh, have you guys heard of Vendicarlo? And we're like, oh yeah, he's got that Pandora's Box. I haven't seen it yet. And he's like, oh, I have all the videos right here. So we made a night of just fucking watching the whole Pandora's Box, all 8 different archetypes of like the Cinderella and the different types of, he narrows girls down into different archetypes and says, if you could do these techniques on this girl, they work on her, but they won't work on her. But anyway, just meeting more guys that are into this stuff, that have more of that material, you'll be able to kind of share in that wealth of knowledge. So just it's very beneficial. My buddy Christian, he had a shit ton of stuff that I never had. I have a bunch of stuff that he never had, and we used to trade back and forth. And he'd show up with like, hey, I just finished reading this book, you should definitely check it out, and can I borrow you know, this book that you have that I saw on your shelf. So we'd be trading information like that, and it was it was good. It was good stuff. I wish I could show you guys a lot more pictures and stuff, but maybe I'll do that on another video. Anyway, I'm gonna cut this short, and I'll see you guys on the next one. I need to get a shower, finish my shake, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Good luck. Peace. Oh, I got the selfie stick. See if it works.